Good morning, everyone. Why does short term become more extended? I'll tell you in a moment. Ask Dan. I'll tell you. I wrote that thinking about conversation Dan and I had about 25 years ago when we met and Dan knew little. We were sitting in my office in White Plains, New York, and Dan was sitting next to me. And the markets were going up, not exactly like this. I don't know who said it or somebody said whatever. Someone else said it. Oh, the markets are extended. And I said to Dan, watch, Dan, they're going to get more extended. And it wasn't similar to this, but anyway, you get what I'm saying. So it was kind of like a memory from the past and what's going on now. Anyway, good morning. Good morning. Well, Dan does have a big brain. There's no arguing that. But there are things that, as smart as we may be on one thing, there's things that we don't know. Anyway, his brain grew. So we start today. I wanted to take a look at the FANG stocks, and similar to many things, it's a very interesting market environment in that, we talk about markets, we can talk about sectors, and then we talk about individual stocks. And so, what is one of the attributes of a market that is extended but could become more extended? Well, it primarily rotates around um, rotation, money rotating, in addition to um, underperformers and outperformers, and how in a bull market, while markets get extended, what keeps them going? Well, money rotates out of the winners. They don't collapse, but some of that money goes to work in the underperformers. And so as those underperformers begin to play what we call catch up, it helps continue to lift the market. Um, it could be at a lower rate, meaning at a slower movement, or an attribute of the end of a move is that not only do the laggards begin to catch up, the leaders also go higher. And when that happens, that's when you get potentially a parabolic type of a move where it just shoots up. All boats are being lifted, and it's the end. Okay, so as we look at these FANG stocks, and we see some of that going on, right? Meaning, and it's a positive and a negative. It depends on what you're looking at. For example, what is going on with Apple? Right? There's a lot of news about Apple lately, um, but it's definitely underperforming. Typically, it's an outperformer, and will it break down? Will it break out? It's gotten tight. Remember our um, MT Live on Head and Shoulders Tops a few weeks ago. One of the concepts was things get tight before on the right side. And how do we measure that? Well, price action, of course, but look at the moving averages, how close they are together. They were wide here. Now they're tight here. It wouldn't be what I'd call a textbook Head and Shoulders top, but with any topping pattern or bottoming pattern, you need confirmation. So will it break lower? Or will this play some catch up to the others where usually it's the leader? So you can see my two lines here, set alerts. Does it break down? Does it break out? Microsoft is a leader. You can see there's few pivots. The ranges are pretty close equal to day-to-day ranges. That is an attribute of a stock that's being systematically bought by institutions. And so they measure their buying not to allow it to get ahead of itself too far. So last week it began to accelerate. How do we measure that? Fewer overlapping bars, higher high, higher low bars. Prices move away from the 20 MA and away from the others, of course. When we have these kind of patterns, similar to look at JP Morgan, see how it's beginning to accelerate. And Friday was an inside day. It's far from the 20. However, like many things that we would look at, the markets included, I talked about over the last couple of weeks, this sideways base going on for a month. Well, while they become short-term extended away from the 50 MA and the 200 MA, which means this consolidation was preceded by a strong move, it had a long base where it allowed the 20 to catch up. That's a good thing. Why is it? Does it mean that it has to keep going higher? No, but there's a large shelf of support. In addition to that, if it was to break that, similar to the market, something has gone very, very wrong. I'm not saying that's going to happen. I'm saying it shouldn't happen. Right? Walmart doing nothing. Right? Can it break out? So these being high capitalization, institutional type of stocks, you want to set alerts on the laggards, even if you're not going to trade them, because you could trade them. They start to play catch up. And you want to set alerts on the downside. Do they start moving up? Do they start moving down? Be one way of getting some insight, even if you're not trading them, as to institutions starting to rotate into some laggards. Costco, which usually is a leader, does well, has been a laggard, and a lot of the consumer staple stocks have been lagging. Why? Because who wants to own consumer staple boring stock when technology is going up? Semiconductors are going up. Another thing, Amazon broke out last week out of a base close to the moving averages. That's supportive of a bias that it's going to keep going higher. Right? Google has been very erratic, probably one that you'd want to maybe do a credit spread or just stay away from. Meta moving up in a constructive way. It's not parabolic. It's relatively close to the 20, far from the 50. Should keep going up. AVGO, I think this was on earnings. It gapped down, but it's recovered, moved up. Tesla, lots of news. There are robo taxis. What's going on? Are they selling cars? Yada, yada, yada. All right. Keep an eye on this. Let's see what that does. All right. Netflix, been a winner, one of the biggest winners, beginning to accelerate. So the ones that you would look at and say, oh, you know what? That's moved quite a bit in the short term, a little far from the 20. Maybe they stall. Money goes into something else, laggards. Right. What we typically look at, right, on each morning. So this acceleration last week has created wide range bars on the weekly time frame. This has been going up for a while. So different market environments, different situations. We look at what is from our foundational information. And what I'm saying here is that when we look at a wide range bar, we look at wide range bars igniting, wide range bars ending. And so this has been going up in a way for a few months. However, it isn't a bar by bar acceleration. It went nowhere for a month or longer. And so it acts as if it's a new breakout, right? We've had this month-long consolidation, maybe a little longer, and this is a new breakout. So while this might pull back a little, our bias rotates to buy pullbacks to minor support. Remember last week I said this gap shouldn't get filled. And it shouldn't get filled just based on the analysis. That wasn't a prediction. And it was an analysis of after a consolidation and a gap up, that's supposed to be an igniting gap. It doesn't get filled historically, and it didn't. That's bullish. It's confirmation. So this gap still should not get filled in the short term. Price is pulling back wherever they're going to do. More bullishly, it goes sideways. If in the next week or two that wide range bars low gets taken out, you're not going to need any crystal ball, any special indicators, oscillators, whatever. That low gets taken out, something has gone wrong. Pretty darn simple. Now, as we look at these patterns, we look at market internals. Do they support this bias that the market can continue to go up and become more extended? Because you need those checks and balances. And as we look at my market internals, yes, there's gas in the tank. Well, this sentiment gauge is just beginning to get toward an extreme. It's got room. Over here, when this one got to a beginning of an extreme, the markets chopped around and they went higher. They all have room to go up. Breadth has been anemic. So while this has accelerated and breadth has not, you would say, well, that's not a good thing. Well, yes and no. But what's going to play catch up? Last week we talked about the Russell. It's just starting to get going here. Right? The gyrations, remember, right? Things were going up so nicely. And then, the Canada tax, Trump, oh, we're not going to play with them, blah, blah, blah. And then the markets began to recover in the latter part of the day. I imagine traders just figured, you know what, there's just Trump jawboning again. Nothing's going to happen. There'll be another delay. He'll give them another 90 days or who knows what. I think what is another week and a half or something. All the what do you want to call it? Reprieve, a little. All right, I'm going to give you guys a little extra time to come to your senses before I drop the boom on you. Yeah, the deadline, your tariff deadline. The big beautiful bill is coming. 4th of July, the fireworks are going to go off. Yada yada yada. All right, so IWM is gapping up. It's shaking off Friday, up near resistance. This has plenty of room to go up. Transports, been lagging. Under the 200, it has room to go up. And so when we talk about rotation, transports, Russell, regional banks, they have room to go up. So this is where in the idea that the bull market continues, these laggards should start to bring up the rear and they should break out and they should go higher. And that theoretically happening is where you'll make money. All right. Others that are, mid caps. So there's a lot of stuff. There's a lot of things that could play catch up here. You've got small caps, you've got mid caps, you got transports, you got regional banks. There are many parts of this market, underlying markets or sectors that could be playing catch up. Well, builders, yes. So one of the things with builders and the construction sector revolves around interest rates. And so the 10-year broke down. It's been in this trading range and it broke down last week. And you can see as this started going down, markets started going up. And so this is the bond market saying, hey, we don't think there's any of this inflation thing is a concern. And Mr. Fed Chair, you're going to get dragged out to the woodshed if you don't convince your other Fed guys to lower these interest rates. So the bond market is saying, lower those interest rates. And I don't know about this inflation being, so low and everything's okay. Maybe price of gas coming down, but I don't think the prices, you go to restaurants, stuff's expensive, food's expensive. So I don't know what they're measuring. I do, but I don't totally agree with this inflation is back to where it was. So interest rates going down. Short-term interest rates, I showed you last week. That's the 5-year. They're going down. The 13-week, that dropped 2 weeks ago. So this is the market saying, you're going to cut interest rates. We're going to make you do it one way or another, or you're going to look like a fool, right? Remember transitory? So there you have it. And yeah, so the short-term odds are the market should become more extended, and you can see Qs, right? They're already up, unfilled gaps. They should keep going up, new all-time highs, wide range bar. A break under that is going to be a big problem. All right. Spiders, SPY, moving up, new all-time highs, breakout, consolidation, wide range bar. Don't go there. Don't even think to go there. Right? Pull back, minor support into here should be buyable. Sideways is bullish. Gapping up here should go higher. So more things beginning to fire on all cylinders. I, I know, Dan, you should show that picture. That's hilarious. Dan's reminding me of one of his slides from his option course. Was hilarious. And the golden cross. Remember the death cross here? Well, we're going to get a golden cross. And so that was the low. Odds are the media will start talking about that and we'll be closer to a high. So gapping up above yesterday's high, and SPX. Right? Those are the strikes last before I came on here. Ideally 6150 holds on any retracements. So we're below that. We're not going to get below 6100 unless something bad happens. So typically with SPX, we look to fade. This is too close. You could break Friday's low and it really not be a big deal. You might think this is the no-brainer, but if this accelerates, right here, or if we possibly getting up beyond 6250 should be a no-brainer. Yeah, so we'll see which way this goes. The way we do it is typically look to fade moves intraday. We get our outside levels and then look for some kind of continuation move in one direction and then a failure pattern. So join the green room and we can have those discussions. By the way, MT Live is this week, and I've arranged with Trader McGraw to do an MT Live with Dan and I on July 9th. And we'll talk about the, can I kind of funny say it in a funny way, the dark side that Trader McGraw has gravitated to. But great guy, always interesting. And so week after next, we'll be doing an MT Live with Trader McGraw. So there you have it. All yours, Dan.
Good morning. We have a shortened week here, Friday, July 4th. Don't forget. And I actually said in my weekend video that things are bullish, and ideally the week just rally into the end of Thursday, close everything, go on holiday, and get the internals cooked, and then start, doing short-term shorts and looking for pullbacks. But yeah, we started getting more aggressive on the gap breakout there, despite the stuff going on with U.S. bombing Iran. I was totally shocked on that gap up that day. But as we say, Greg says, trade what is, not what's in your head. And that's going to be this Wednesday's talking about what is first, oscillators, trend lines, and so forth. Thomas Blur. Yeah, it's a bull rectangle. Yeah, it's far from the 50, but we're in this environment still where things are strong. This is the same sector as Jacob Solutions. I like this one better because it's consolidation and it's closer to support in the 20 and the 50. So this one I sent a telegram alert out saying I like this for a 30-minute high. Twilio. I'm here, Greg, and like I'm gonna rescreen. I don't see anything. Yeah, it's a breakout. Yeah, it was on my list to do a put spread. Did I post a put spread? So I know I looked at it. And if the answer is no, the reason is there was no juice. Yeah, there was no juice, so it's not there. Greg, I don't know what other chat means.
Social media.
Yeah, I just said that. I'm in rescreen.
Okay, but yeah, I thought you said you didn't see anything, so that's why I posted what Raul was saying.
Oh, well, maybe I logged in late. That's why I didn't see the history. So what did Raul say?
It's in your personal chat.
Okay. I'm still lost. All right, so yeah, that's fine. All right, Raul. Yeah. It's up too many bars, so I don't like that. So no. Gel, yes, it's better. It's a 1-2-3 following a 180. Energy stock, yeah, gel is superior pattern to the other one. All right, Thomas MDB. Yeah, my alarm went off. Yeah, yeah, we bought a half lot here, and this stupid 30-minute low stopped us out. But it's back on my list. I have it as a put spread, but I also, I just wanted more evidence before I made it official. But 30-minute high, yes, I like it. It's a igniting gap, multi-week turn at the rising 20. So yeah, I like it. Let's actually put that here. I was long this Joby, and I sold it pre-market right there. Joby. Yeah, I had bids out Friday, and I didn't even I didn't kind of realize, but I had a big position in that. Like I sold it right here, 1009 pre-market. Cream, I know we were looking at that last week. Yeah, 30-minute high. Yeah, it could be directional and put spread. With this big gap up, I'm not going to be in a rush to do things. Amazon alarm just went off. That, I wish, well, we were talking about it as a directional on Friday, but then it was sloppy. And then you could see sold off here when Trump opened his mouth about Canada. But that's a very bullish closing breakout, daily, weekly. So I we're going to start with a put spread, but I like this direction also. Look at the volume pickup also. Impressive. More alarms, more tie. It looks like my 25 alarm, just that one print sent that off. And we're long this in the ETF letter. Yep, my 25 alarm went off. So let me reset alarms. This thing's a slow mover. 25.2 and 24.16. Let's go up here naturally. XPO. Beautiful breakout consolidation. My alarm went off, but I don't see any prints, but that looks good. Rockwell from Alex, breakout, alarm went off. The only hesitancy is far from it's extended on the weekly, but it's gone sideways 3 weeks, and it's a strong sector. So that's why we'll trade with it. That was another sector we could have gone long on Monday when all those gap breakouts. Alex and I got pretty aggressive. an A and F. We're gonna do a put spread, bottoming pattern, alarm went off. XLY. I say that one's not extended. So that looks great. Breakout, daily, weekly. Full rectangle, target 226-ish. So that looks great. I'm gonna put that on the window. That's the line. Bali man. I don't know what you're looking at there, Bali. It's a sell setup, but it's a very poor quality one because it might be a bottoming pattern. You got almost a 180 on the weekly. So it is not quality at all. XLI, sure. Yeah, that one's not too late because it's following this little, bullish engulfing. It's close to the 20. So yeah, that looks good. Industrials, man H. Yeah. Yeah, bottoming pattern. Yeah, we're heavily long in our ETF letter. Man H. Let me set an alarm 198. Cyber alarm just went off. We're long that in the ETF letter. Looks good. And so does Hack. Hack looks good too. Marriott alarm went off. I'm not sure. I looked at that as a put spread, but no juice. Like Jeffries, bottom right. Jeffries looks great. Let me reset the alarm because it hasn't triggered yet. I was bidding for a couple things pre-market. This one included. I was bidding. I'm 56 even. Did not get filled. Well, actually, I went 56.10. I went high bid. So, Jeff, let me reset the alarm. All right. So this is a good pattern where you could put a buy stop in because it's tight. Wow, spreads are still crazy. I'm going to bid 56.30 right now. Go high bid or 25. Tell you if I get filled. Oh, I get filled instantly. That's typically not a great sign if you get filled too easy. So I nibbled 56 and 40. Yeah, my little alarm just went off. Yep, so we gave a half lot in the ETF letter. Oh, 237.21. But it's only a half lot because I still don't trust the turn yet. I'm still going through alarms here. All right, Rockwell. It came in. So Rockwell 5-minute high is a go. You reset the alarm over 331.35. All right, we got some profit taking going on here. All right, so that's good. It means we don't have to be in a rush. Man, this stupid AA stopped us out Friday on I'm assuming Trump talks. with Canada, fighting with Canada. And I actually, didn't stop out. And so I legged into a covered call. I sold the 29 calls right here. But it's still a total mess. I'm still just working my way out of it, not looking at it as a new tree. All right, XPO. Let's do 5-minute high, 128.29. Yeah, I mean, I like when I'm not friggin' slammed on Monday mornings, because that's my busiest time. All right, Rappler in. All right, that triggered cleanly, RL, so that's good to go. 277.59. But with the market pulling in, and then I had a big run on Friday's afternoon low. You probably can get price improvement like you just did right there. Actually, you know what? I'm going to change this to 5-minute high. Let's do it over 278.
This market gap up has likely greater likelihood of getting filled.
Oh yeah, then the ones last week we were talking about. Absolutely. Absolutely. Man H up alarm. Or you can watch it pull back on Rappler. Sam, isn't your license plate called Man Up? Look at Jeffrey's bottom right. See, I went in early. Remember I told you that's typically a bad sign, getting filled that easy. Correct, Man Up, Man Up. SLX. Let's do 5-minute high, 66.71. Cyber. Cyber, we're already in. Looks good. Man H. Uh, that's good. Just let's see what it does in the first 30 minutes here. I'm gonna check put spread also. There's no weekly.
See plug?
Yep. 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 My alarm went off. Yep. Yeah, it's because of these stupid, again, talks on the bill is what's whipping this sector around. Look at Fizzler also. Yeah, let's move stuff now. LCD plate. That's funny. LCD plate. It's the biggest and most beautiful bill. Um, you know, because you know my humor. Oh, okay, that's a good answer. But you know, it's a step deeper than that. You know, I was thinking of a bird. I'm like, what? My answer was going to be a flamingo. See how our crazy humor is. Yeah, so I'm not going to mess with this this sector. There's too much news surrounding it. We got whacked in the Fizzler. That gap down from Congress planning, you know, fighting over their bill. Uh, um, this is our only short. We did it right here on this breakdown. Um, and then the market took off. Three bucks. We did a half one. I'm still going through alarms here. I got a ton of them going off. Then I go alarms, then I go through opens, same old drill every day. Look at new trade ideas. Interactive broker. We're at 53.78. So we can move stop break even now. Five is lagging. Apple Ed lagging, Autodesk. We're right back to break even here. CME's been lagging ever since we got in it. Briggs R Looks like that might have stopped out. 158. I'll just reset it. Yeah, my alarm didn't go off, so it looks like a bad tick. Oh, MDB. Oh, yeah, I have them right here. All right, so the put spread's okay if it gets filled. Amazon, ANF, Apple hasn't triggered, but I posted it as a call spread. Only open is Airbnb in the weekly. All right, so for the directional, 135.06. Yeah, this hack was the one I was bidding pre-market at 85.10. No fill, but I still like it. Stock over the high as it go. XPO. I set over the high. ANF put spread, Amazon put spread, XLY. All right, we're 219. AZN low alarm. Sam, that might be yours. Or Alex, I forget. Yeah, the breakdown. So that's looks like that's good to go. UCN 69.64. Yeah. Financials new high. we are long XLF. Joby is flying. I got out of mine too early. Wow. I sold at 10:09 pre-market. Oh wow, nothing I can do about it now. Yeah, my J alarm went off. I think I'm gonna give it 30-minute high. Stop Thursday's low. High burn. Set new alarm. Yeah, look at financials, you know. I bet you will cancel pay after 30 minutes. I'll bet you $100. Why would you why? The only reason I would cancel it is if it rallied $2 in the next 7 minutes. No, it's coming out of consolidation. Why will it be too high? I disagree with you. think I'm caught up. Heat, EAT alarm. There is a Barron's article about beat up restaurant stocks, but this one's not beat up, but another breakout candidate, but it's not ready yet. J is more ready than Eats. I mean, well, this one has to take out yesterday's high. Oh, quantum, Alex, I'm in. I just looked at my opens. Forgot about this one. I entered this with you on Friday. I'm in IWO with you. Set a new alarm. 87, 30, 85. XLF up nicely. I mean, XBI, I have a covered call. It's doing nothing. Because I entered early on Friday. I pulled that thing out. Yes, I would like it to go sideways more. It's had such a big run from this bottom of the range, and there's no correction bar. So that's my problem with it. Okay. I don't know, Thomas. That's still a powerful move. It's a range expansion bar, but it's not. It's not a wide range ending bar. And that's a very bullish 15-minute chart with a gap and go. So I would be careful with that one.
Do you have a pattern to short it?
Or ask Kim. I just said no.
End of discussion.
Well, I mean, granted, he said watch, so he's looking for a climb, I'm assuming. All right, so J, the high is 130 spot 71. So no, Alex, you owe me $100. There's no reason for me to cancel this. I did. So Sal did a total for me over the weekend, and you owe me $870 as the cumulative total. So Sal, will you add 100 to that? Because it's a new bet. Sal is independent. All right, I like this hack. I think I'm gonna nibble right here. I didn't get filled on my bid. Filled hack. But now Alex, back to Jay, Julia. If I get a controlled 15-minute buy setup that stays above 130, well, you know what I mean. If I get a controlled pullback because it did trigger, then I might enter early. See, watch. Yeah, yeah. Now, what about Intel? Remember that was kind of bottom? Look at that. So you can't trust this dog. Look at these overlapping bars. This thing trades like a third-rate garbage company. And that's actually an insult to RSG and WM. Hey, RSG, I just found that by accident. Look, see my humor. My humor just found us a new short opportunity. Let's short the lows, RSG. I'll set an alarm 243.75. And that did not show up in Greg's 1, 2, 3 scans. Um, I say let's do it. Short the lows, stop 50 MA. You, yeah, I like it. I like it. It's not clean, but it's the turn on the daily and weekly. It's the turn. I'm not sure about the target, but it'd be a no-brainer put spread under Friday's low. Let me check that. So 39.50. 25 by 42. 32 by 40. Not bad. So it's a very, very nice turn. What's this managed doing now? Nothing. I already checked. Let's see. Yeah, it's continuation pattern. Beautiful 15 also. Beautiful. 1, 2. I love day or swing trades that give you a beautiful 1, 2, 3 entry like this, 30-minute high. So it looks good. KMI had positive Barron's article. The grinder up a lot, but your better entry would have been on Thursday over the red bar. Wow, plug fell apart. Let's check these other pendings. The lift is good to go, is posted. VeriSign actually triggered 288.35. Price. Yeah, triggered plainly 288.35. Hmm, far from the 20, but looks higher. On that one, I think I'd wait for the afternoon to see how it consolidates. Yeah, we had some nice trades on that last week. XYZ. Oh, XYZ triggered. That's a breakout. Well, I said buy calls at midpoint. Open 67.15. XYZ. Yeah, yeah, I like it. And it's extended here, but let's it kind of reminds me of the thing that Thomas asked me to look at a minute ago on the IONQ. Not sure of the target, but it's definitely made the turn on the daily weekly. So yes, I like it. You can spin on 5/3 or a half here. Stop. I mean, day trade stop day's low. Swing trade Friday's low.